Good morning, everyone, and welcome to a special edition of Zombies and Coffee. If you are unaware, AMC recently at San Diego Comic-Con released a Season 8 trailer, and we're going to talk about that. The trailer itself covers the entire season. It's about 5 minutes and 20 seconds long, and it does not stay linear, so it does do some time jumping. So we're going to start at the beginning of the trailer and just work our way on through. Now, please keep in mind that the TV show is not following the books in a parallel fashion. Yes, the basic overview of the story is the same, but so much of it is different. So I'm going to try my hardest to base everything I saw in the trailer for predictions of what I think is going to happen. I will draw some parallels between the books and the TV show and what I know already happened in the books. Now, this whole season does follow a 12-issue series called All Out War. And it is already completely off base because the way these attacks are happening, it's already not in sequence with the books. Now we start out black with Negan talking. And then we see he's got Father Gabriel captured. Now, there's lots of zombie sounds in the background. That's going to be important for other stuff that we're going to see later on in the trailer. Very shortly after this scene, we see Father Gabriel standing in a field with Jerry. Jerry's the guy from the kingdom, the big guy with the axe. Jerry's standing behind Father Gabriel, and we already know later on in the trailer that this is when they're kind of regrouping and Rick's giving his pep talk before the kingdom, Alexandria, and the hilltop all kind of come together to attack the sanctuary. But we're going to get to that. We just can't rush through it. We then have a quick scene of Tara and Carol on a bridge that we also get a little bit better peek of later on when all the walkers are walking below them. And then we have Daryl driving his motorcycle. Presumably, this is them grouping up the walkers to use as a weapon. This is going to be a major part of Rick's group's attack on Negan, the Saviors, at the Sanctuary. And a lot's going to go wrong because we've seen Father Gabriel already captured, and then later we see Ezekiel and Jerry chained to a fence. That's going to be really important. Now, if you don't remember, Dwight, the guy with the burned face, Negan's kind of right-hand man, he's working with Rick. He's unrolling that piece of paper that says tomorrow. That's presumably a warning that Rick's group will be attacking tomorrow. We see hands flipping over the revolver with 43 hash marks on it. Those are Daryl's hands. I'm guessing that the 43 hash marks are saviors that he's killed, probably with that revolver. It doesn't make complete sense to me, though. It could also be the amount of bombs, because we see him driving later on and shooting the bombs that we saw Jesus set up earlier. Now, I think all of that is to make noise, to lead the walkers, and I'm thinking that Jesus is camouflaging them under boxes just so they're not so suspicious. I mean, if you see a red gasoline can in the middle of the road with duct tape on it, you know something's up. So you cover it with the box and then maybe hopefully no one notices it. It's just a little more camouflaged, just looks like trash in the road. So Daryl's driving around shooting the bombs to draw the walkers. So it's either, in my opinion, going to be the amount of saviors he killed, which I'm not 100% sold on because, as we all know, Daryl's a crossbow man, or it's the number of bombs that they have set up. And we kind of remember from earlier with the termites, the fireworks is what they would use to draw the walkers' attention. So they didn't actually go to Terminus. It would draw them away from Terminus. So we know that the loud noises and the explosions draw the walkers' attention. We have our little spy scene, as I'm calling it. We have someone peeking through what appears to be the wooden walls at the hilltop. And then we see the binocular outline, and that's Aaron driving a car that looks like it has armor on one side. I'm guessing that this is a vehicle that they've prepped to use as a roadblock when they go to the sanctuary. I'm going to go ahead and assume they're going to pull that side up against the sanctuary so they have cover. And then we see an eyeball peeking through a bullet hole in appears to be a shipping container. At the very end, we see someone that looks to be naked in said shipping container. Here's a quick picture. I lightened up the contrast. I could not tell who it was, but it does look like they're wearing underwear, so they're not naked. We already know if Negan catches Daryl, he's probably just gonna kill him, so I'm gonna guess that it's not Daryl. I'm thinking it's actually someone in Rick's group has captured someone. It could even be Gregory, because that whole rift between Gregory and Maggie that happened earlier on, and then Gregory went off to the Saviors. So I think that Gregory's gonna make it back out, and I think that's actually Gregory going to be imprisoned at the hilltop in that shipping container. That's my prediction of who that is. Right around this point, we're seeing the convoy, if you will. They're all stopping in this field. I think that's where the masses are collecting. We hear Rick's voiceover trying to pump up his troops. Then we go into a Maggie voiceover and an Ezekiel voiceover. And this is, I think, where everyone's grouping up to do that tomorrow attack on the sanctuary. Now, Daryl, Tara, Carol, and I'm sure several other characters. We didn't see Michonne in that scene, so I'm going to go ahead and guess she's driving because we saw her driving a car earlier on. I think they're all leading the walkers to the sanctuary, and Rick's kind of uniting all the other groups. This is also right around the time we see Jesus covering up the gas tank with the cardboard box. Here's another example of the time jump, because now we see Jerry and Ezekiel appear to be chained to a fence, which I'm guessing the Saviors caught them and they're chained to that fence. They have that walker perimeter that goes around their complex. I think that they caught them and stuck them there, more or less to be cannon fodder for walkers or their own men. There's so much packed into this 5-minute and 20-second trailer. Man. All right, so in this scene where it's a very quick scene, if you pause it, when Ezekiel pulls out his sword, he's rallying his men, you can see Morgan and you can see Carol. I didn't see Father Gabriel in his group, and I didn't see Jesus in his group. But we then see them, what they appear to be attacking, I'm thinking, one of the Savior's outposts, and this is where it all goes wrong for them. I think that they attack the outpost, but we then see Morgan in trying to fight Jesus. Jesus just dodging his attacks with his staff. So I'm thinking what happened was somehow word got out. I don't know how. I'm guessing Gregory, but he really wasn't there for what happened, which I think that's going to be why we factor in why Gregory's probably the one that's going to be in the storage container. But I think they get ambushed, and we see Shiva going against a bunch of walkers. This I will compare to the books. In the books, pretty much a very similar situation happens, and Shiva saves Ezekiel's life by jumping into the walkers. Even though Ezekiel's calling her back, she does not come, and Ezekiel has a talking point afterwards where he says she didn't come because she knew that was the only way that he could escape. So Shiva gave her life so Ezekiel could live. But I think that it's not going to work out the same way in the books, because I think that's where Ezekiel and Jerry and probably Father Gabriel get captured. And I think Morgan is going to go ahead and think that Jesus had something to do with it, and that's why he's fighting Jesus, or trying to fight Jesus. So at first I was confused as to why Morgan was going after Jesus, and then I thought about it for a minute, and I'm thinking, okay, potentially something slipped about the hilltop. Jesus is from the hilltop. I think that's why Morgan went after Jesus, but really I think it was just Gregory being a coward and just trying to tell Negan everything he could so he wouldn't kill him. Now, a very pivotal moment in the trailer is Aaron yelling, "We pin them in and it takes care of itself." This is why I told you to remember the zombies in the background in the very beginning. The walker herd that they led to the sanctuary, I'm guessing they broke down the gates and the horde is inside. And those are the walkers inside the walls of the sanctuary that we hear in the background while Negan is saying to Father Gabriel, "I hope you're wearing your pants," because the walkers have breached the walls. Now there's two other things that I haven't figured out yet. We saw a person bound up trying to cut the ropes with a rock. I did pause it several times throughout the episode, but I could not tell who it was because no one was wearing those same clothes. Then we have a meeting with the junkies. Also paused it, and it's a crane shot from above, so you can't see who the rest of the people are. I'm thinking it might be, I keep forgetting the guy's name. It's either, if it's the Saviors, it's the balding guy, the one that goes to the hilltop, the guy that Gregory went to talk to. I keep forgetting his character name. Or in the beginning, Enid said something along the lines of, I want to help, let me help. But she didn't have the same clothes on. She had, I think, a gray sweatshirt on. Doesn't mean she didn't change her clothes. So I think that's why they're trying to confuse us. So I'm thinking it might be Enid and then the junkies tied her up. But I'm not sure. I haven't completely figured this one out. I'm probably going to watch the trailer a couple of more times. And then the biggest giveaway they did, and I don't like the time jump at all, is at the end, we see a cane, we see Rick laid up in bed, but he's old and gray. I'm not going to tell you why he's laid up in bed with a cane, because I know it's a very big part of the story in the book, so I'm not going to ruin that for you. So they did give away how the season's going to end. I mean, we kind of already knew it was going to happen, but we didn't know how it was going to happen. But I don't like how they jumped him to be old and gray already. Or unless there's some crazy time jump in the middle where All Out War takes years to finish. I don't like how they time jumped to Rick being an old man already. It was a really good trailer. The first time I watched it, I literally just stared at the screen when it ended and said, wow. There's going to be a link down below, so you can go ahead and check it out if you haven't seen it already. Highly recommend you watch it several times because there's going to be things you missed. There's lots of quick scenes. I am looking forward to Season 8 of The Walking Dead. I believe it starts October 22nd. It's going to be good. It's going to be great. And I can't wait to get next season of Zombies and Coffee underway. So I'll see you tomorrow for your next episode. Good night.